kind of slowed the tempo down. Cinnaminson has.
And what that does is it stops Linden from playing that full court pressing game.
Right.
That's their best game.
Right. I don't think this is Linden's game they're playing now.
Stratford in and out. Ball deflected. Dawkins on the dead run. Stepped out of bounds.
Made a great effort to try to save it. Little Eric Dawkins over there. He went behind his back to try to save it. Couldn't quite make it.
You know, you've got to score, Eddie, to set up your
exactly.
press. And the best situation is a fast break because then you have time to set your press. The other team's waiting to inbound the ball. Linden hasn't gotten any fast break baskets in this quarter, and that's the reason they haven't been able to do what they want to do.
That's right. Linden is not playing their game now. They're playing Cinnaminson's game. I don't really believe it's Linden's game to stay outside and pass the ball around against this zone.
9 seconds left. Now 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Lukenda with 3. Mack. Lukenda at the buzzer, no good. Big turnaround in quarter number 3 in the Group 3 Boys State Championship game from the Byrne Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Score at the end of 3, Cinnaminson 53, Linden 49.
Stay with us. This is a great ball game. We're going to have a great fourth quarter here.
Ten seconds.
Bruce Beck and Ed Lyons back at the Brendan Byrne Arena. 8 minutes of basketball left in the finals of Group 3, and Cinnaminson leads Linden 53-49. Eddie, game plan for both clubs in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think Linden has to go back. They got to score and go back to exactly what you said. I think they got to go back to full court pressing. When they do full court press out of that zone, they pull Pollock away from the basket. They force him to come out to help out with a press. And I think they got to go to running. Their game is not a slow down hunt and peck game. Cinnaminson, I think they got to just keep Pollock down under if they can and keep firing the ball in while Caparola and Souter shoot from the outside.
Don Franco will jump for Linden. Billy Pollock for Cinnaminson. Cinnaminson controls the tap. Dawkins with the ball. Works it off in the corner to Saylor. Last thing Linden wants to do is fall behind by 8 or 10 and get in a situation where they're going to start fouling a good free throw shooting team.
Although a running team like Linden is a better catch-up team than a slowdown type team.
Right, good point. Down low Pollock. Block, clean block by Franco. Oh, a tough shot by John Souter.
He knew where that backboard was, and he was facing the other way. He kind of turned and just threw it up there out of memory. He threw that one out of memory.
Franco loses the ball. Cinnaminson by 6. They have the ball with 7:19 to play.
Linden Tigers can't do anything right for the last 5 or 6 minutes. The tide has really turned. Right now, it's all Cinnaminson.
Dawkins controls the ball. Plays it off to Caparola. Mark penetrates. Ball lost. Knocked away. Picked up by Caparola. Linden forces the pressure. Comes up with the steal. Good hustle by Steve Wilder.
That's Linden's game, to really force them.
Mack got it.
Now they got the basket. Now let's see if they put the press on right away.
Bernardo Mack hitting the jumper. Linden down by 4, 6:40 to play.
You can see that Cinnaminson wants to slow it down and go to the big guys.
Caparola's shot. Good.
Boy, for a sophomore, he's some high school shooter. All the confidence in the world.
10 points for Mark Caparola. Back to a 6-point lead for Cinnaminson. Wilder, cagey inside, missed the layup, but Linden keeps the ball.
Nice move by Wilder that time. They really need him in there, and he's been sitting out with 4.
Lukenda has it. Works it down to Wilder. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Caparola.
He's a player, Bruce.
Lukenda steal. Lays it up, no good. Rebound, knocked around. And it will be Cinnaminson ball.
Here comes Linden now. They get a shot to put that press on again, and they're going to put it on right here. See if they can force the issue a little bit.
Wilbur Akins up shouting instructions to his Tigers. No problem breaking the pressure. Souter. Wow, can this club shoot?
Yes, they can.
This club must be shooting somewhere in the range of 65% from the floor in the second half.
They got two outside poppers, Souter and Caparola. They can put it home.
Mack no good. Foul underneath, and it's on Mack. Leonardo Mack called for the personal.
This game is starting to slip away from Linden, and I think Wilbur Akins is going to call a timeout right here and see if he can regroup the forces. All the momentum has been Cinnaminson.
5:33 left. Cinnaminson 59, Linden 51. Well, in the first quarter, Linden up 25-16. Second quarter, Cinnaminson battled back, outscored Linden 17-12 to cut the halftime lead to 37-33 Linden. But in the third quarter, Cinnaminson went on a tear, outscored Linden 20-12 to take a 53-49 lead. And now, with 5:33 to go, the Pirates, the 1981-82 co-champs in the Burlco Liberty Division, lead 59-51.
Basketball's a funny game. I have a visitor here with me, Clark Folsom. Many a time he had to sit me down. Now he's running the whole show.
Well, we still have 5 minutes and 33 seconds to go. And that is a lot of playing time, especially for a club like you say Linden is, a catch-up club.
It's easier for a club that's quick and plays a full court press and likes to run to catch up than it is for the set play club, obviously. But they're slowly letting this game get out of hand, Bruce. Pollock's going to the line for two here, and it would be a 10-point lead.
The scoring for Cinnaminson has been really two players, John Souter and Bill Pollock. We talked about it before the game. Those are the two to watch for.
And Caparola.
Pollock
there he is.
24, Eddie.
Big guy looks impressive tonight, I'll tell you.
No good. Rebound, Franco. Leonardo Mack. Reach-in foul called on Souter.
Definite reach-in foul. Good call.
Linden scoring in the ball game, 11 for Stratford, 11 for Wilder, 14 for Mays, 9 for Franco. Those are the big scores for the Tigers. It's been spread around. For Cinnaminson, it's been all two players.
Linden still working that ball around against that zone.
Foul call on Stratford over the back on Troy.
I'll tell you, you mentioned it earlier, they are not getting as many second shots. In fact, I can only remember one. I'm sure that Coach Crowd had a little box-out discussion at halftime, and they've come out doing it much better. They're keeping them to one shot, and they're holding their own on the defensive backboard.
So Wilbur Akins is frustrated. Not much his club can do right at the present time. Mark Caparola goes to the free throw line. Peter Crowd, he's walking around keeping his club fired up, and they have played some basketball game.
Well, they've just missed two one-on-ones, and when you're trying to build that lead, that's not the way to do it.
Tigers trail by 8 with 5 minutes and 5 seconds to play. Wilder on the baseline, no good. Wilder looking for the rebound, knocked out of bounds, Linden ball. Austin MacArthur makes the call right on the spot.
Emphatically.
Stratford will throw it in. Wilder out to Lukenda. He penetrates, throws up a hard jump shot, and the ball comes down to Dawkins.
He forced that one, not a good shot at all.
Offensive foul. Stratford picked it up, played a cat-and-mouse game, and got the call.
The big guy, and he's not very big, but he is their big guy, has made the big plays whenever they needed them tonight.
What did Alabama used to say at basketball camp? Beat the man to the spot and you'll get the offensive foul. That's what Stratford did.
That's the key to defense. Beat him to the spot.
Stratford on the baseline, and a foul call from behind. It's on Dawkins. 1-and-1 time, and now if Linden can start hitting from the line, perhaps they can battle back. Peter Kraut and the Cinnaminson Pirates want to talk it over with 4:41 to play and leading by 8.
Good time for a little Cinnaminson timeout. They had a real chance down there twice with an 8-point lead. They went down with 1-on-1s and didn't make them. And down the other end, Linden has controlled the ball a little bit down there, and it's a good time for a timeout.
Well, later tonight on TV3, catch all the action of the championship of the game between Pascagoula Valley and North Hunterdon. That's coming up later tonight. More girls action exclusively on TV3 as we bring you all the high school basketball championship. That's the girls Group 3 final. And on Monday, we've got another doubleheader with Corriston and Seton Hall for the Parochial A championship. And then the Roselle Rams battling Bordentown for the championship in Group 1 in the boys for the state of New Jersey. We've got some exciting basketball ahead of us, Eddie.
Yes, we have. Stay tuned. This ahead of us right here in the last 4 minutes and 41 seconds. I still think it could go either way. Linden's not out of this. Troy Stratford's on the line for 2. Makes them both. He cuts it to 6, and the press goes on, and we'll see what happens.
This is the first of 10 high school basketball championships you'll be seeing throughout the week on TV3. Troy Stratford, 11 points in the game, 1-1.
12 points. Makes this one, and the full court whammy. Missed it.
Rebound Pirates. Stratford all over Dawkins. Oh, he made him turn it over.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Stratford has said to himself, this is my last game as a high school player. I'm going to give it my all in the last 5 minutes. And he has come out defensively and challenged Dawkins every time he's had the ball.
He's an athlete.
He's a competitor. Wilder drives, double pump, foul called, and suddenly Linden is going back to the hoop, and that is their game.
Exactly, Bruce. They stopped passing the ball around the perimeter looking for outside shots. They're not a great outside shooting team at all. They got to go to the hoop. They're quicker than Cinnaminson. I think Cinnaminson will foul them, and they then might come up with those second shots also. Try to play that slowdown and match shots with Cinnaminson.
Wilder threw up a brick. Still has one coming, and Wilbur, he's upset with that one.
Well, there's nothing you can do when you're sitting there. You can't shoot for him.
He missed them both. Lukenda hustled in there, but it's out of bounds, and it will be Cinnaminson ball.
Here comes that full court press I was talking about. They're going to put it on anyway to get a shot at it.
59-52, 4:21 to play. The Pirates of Cinnaminson, the class of Burlington County this past year, looking for the Group 3 state title. Troy Stratford got called for his 4th.
I don't know about that one. I'd like to see that one. I'm guessing that wasn't a foul. Let's watch it. He goes up. He's making a good effort. I don't know. What do you think, Bruce?
Gotta call it.
You called it a foul?
I did.
Gotta call it. All right, I'll give it to you.
Goes to the line, and he has 1-1.
I give up a lot easier behind the mic than I did sitting on that bench.
Boy, the free throw shooting has been poor.
And they caught Pollock or Saylor.
No, they caught Franco for elbowing underneath.
Goodness.
That is his 4th personal foul.
That one really hurts.
Well, in the last
offensive foul, it's not a shooting foul.
In the last 8 minutes of real time, the clock has lost about 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're fouling one another and nobody's making them.
4:10 to play. 59-52. Cinnaminson leads by 7. Caparola.
That kid doesn't care. He can just plain shoot. I don't want to get in a game at 21 with him. Watch it. There's the pass in. He just pops it from there.
Stratford shot no good. Ball banged around underneath. Dawkins has it. Outlet pass to Caparola. Uses the left hand. Smashed to the ground. And a 2-shot foul. Troy Stratford will be gone. I believe that is number 5 on Troy.
If Troy Stratford is gone, that could really hurt the Linden Tigers. Watch this Caparola go to the hoop. He goes up. He got him there. He got him really good. I'll tell you what. Caparola never slowed down. If you call that if you give him the
Hey, Eddie,
basket,
they call that an offensive foul.
I can't believe that.
An offensive foul on Caparola. Stratford is still 3:43 to play.
I can't believe that.
Ball is tipped up and in by Dennis Mays. Cuts the lead to 9.
That's a big call right there.
Linden scrapping, trying to come up with a loose ball.
I'll tell you what.
3:30 to play.
Caparola pushed off a little bit there to get the ball over.
Pollock down low, tough in there. No good. Mays fighting for the rebound. Linden has it. Wilder to the forecourt. Throws the ball away, and it will be Cinnaminson ball.
I'll tell you, Linden's scrapping back. It's a dogfight out there now, but Cinnaminson's hanging on. They smell it.
A 9-point lead with 3:12 to play. Souter off the Caparola. Inside Pollock. Lays it in.
There's that finger roll. He's got great control, and they can't stop him. It's been all Pollock.
Cinnaminson by 11 with 2:55 to play. Stratford back. Tipped up and in by Dennis Mays.
You know, Linden's made most of their baskets from right around in there. Of course, Cinnaminson isn't doing bad with Pollock.
2:44 left. 9-point lead for the Pirates. Dawkins. I'd put the ball in Caparola's hands right now. He can shoot 2. Sailor hits.
I'll tell you what, they're not freezing it. They're throwing it.
11-point lead. Mays. No good. Bangs again, no good. Knocked out of bounds to Linden. This game has been wild.
Can that club in red from South Jersey, can they shoot?
Cinnaminson has shot brilliantly from the floor in the second half. Wilder, baseline. Tipped up and in by Franco.
They're scoring again on those second shots, but that's all they're scoring.
Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Linden. I wouldn't want to be keeping the running score in this game. 67 to 58. Cinnaminson by 9. Timeout. 2:12 to play.
Listen to that Cinnaminson crowd. A great deal of them dressed in red. Look at them.
What a ball game. Want to have a fast-paced game? Well, you got it if you wanted it.
Bruce, one of the surprising things about this Cinnaminson club is they have made no attempt right now to put the ball in the refrigerator. They haven't gone to any 4 corners or anything else. They just come down and shoot it. They either look for Pollock, they can't get it to him,
Caparola.
or Caparola. They just shoot it and put it home. Think they'll come out and try to put it away now?
I don't know, but the surprising thing about Cinnaminson is last year they were 8-14, and then they come back, Eddie, they're 27-3 and 2-12 away from a state championship. Can you believe the difference in a year?
8-14 to 27-3. Wonder if they had that Caparola kid last year. He's only a sophomore.
I don't think so.
He doesn't hurt him.
Peter Kraut. 82-45 in 5 years at Cinnaminson. And he is just 2-12 away from a state championship.
Boy, it looks like it's theirs now, but you never know.
Linden's still in it. They're quick. They're scrappy. They trail by 9. Dawkins gets the ball into Sailor. Pollock back outside. Souter. Caparola handles it. Linden double team. Caparola penetrates. No good. Mays rebound.
Caparola should just stay outside and shoot that long one.
Tigers can cut it to 7. Lukenda drives. No good. Pollock rebound. Mays fouled him from behind. And that may be all for Dennis.
We are under the 2-minute sign, and with Pollock going to the foul line.
That is it for Dennis Mays. 5 personal fouls, and he will have to sit. Dennis Mays finishing out a fine career at Linden. Mays leaves the contest, but not after scoring 18 and playing one whale of a ball game. He has nothing to be ashamed of. He can only hold his head high.
They put the fences up in front of that Cinnaminson crowd, Bruce. I think they're afraid they're going to swarm the floor if they win this one.
Pollock at the line, 1-1. In and out.
He's missed about 3 1-on-1s in a row now.
Yes, he has. Franco to Stratford. Troy looks to penetrate, puts up the jumper, good.
And he's consistently made the big basket for them.
Timeout Linden. It's a 7-point game with 1:43 to play.
And they could do it, Bruce. They could do it.
And that clock isn't moving at all, is it?
I know Peter Crowd is looking at that clock. I won't go over the strategy. I want to see this big football tackle cheerleader go with this clock.
7-point game. 1:43 to play, and there's the cheerleader everybody talked about. The wild, wonderful Cinnaminson man.
They say he's the starting tackle on their football team.
Oh, and he's putting on a show. Well, Peter Kraut knows that 1:43 is a long time against a club like Linden.
They're way down underneath their own basket now, and what Linden needs to do and can do very easily is get a steal or force them to not be able to get it over half court in 10 seconds. I'll tell you, if Cinnaminson had made 2 of their last 4 one-on-ones, they'd almost be home free now. Linden's up tight, man to man.
7-point game, 1:43 to play. Dawkins to Pollock, back to Dawkins.
They got it in, that's the first part of it.
Mack all over Dawkins. Stratford helps with a double team. Linden trapping and trapping all over the place. Dawkins almost taken away. Now he gets it off to Pollock. Open man is Souter. Pollock. Stratford got called for the foul, and that is all for Troy.
That could be all for Linden, because I'll tell you, he's their money player. Great little player.
Stratford leaves the ball game with 5 personal fouls and 14 points. Another athlete that finishes a remarkable career, and he handles it with grace, doesn't he?
Just walked off there, didn't say anything. He knew he fouled him.
He's going to cheer for his club now. Pollock at the line, 1-and-1, missed it, followed his miss, lays it up, no good. Rebound Wilder. Linden still in it. 1:16 to play. Wilder all the way. Yes!
That's what you call a broken field run and a touchdown. And that clock refuses to move.
5-point game, 1:11 to play.
Let's take a look at this. Wilder's going to go all the way. He's going to go for a touchdown all the way. Bobbing and weaving, goes in and lays it down.
Back to the action now. A foul called on Reynald Jude in the backcourt. Another 1-and-1 for Cinnaminson. But the club, which has shot so well from the floor, is struggling at the free throw line. Listen to this stat, Eddie. In the 4th quarter, Cinnaminson is 0 for 8 from the line.
Oof. All 1-and-1s. Now, if you make all of them, you have 16 more points, and the game is long since over.
Cal Ledford checks in. Reynald Jude comes out for Linden. Eric Dawkins goes to the line for 1-and-1.
Well, they broke the jinx, Bruce. You talked about the no-hitter.
Good time to break it, huh?
A big foul for them.
6-point game, 1:08 to go. Dawkins a 67% free throw shooter. Hits them both.
There were 2 big free throws, and Eric came to the line and did it for the boys from down south.
7-point game, 1:05 to play. Lukenda shot no good. Foul called on Cinnaminson.
The clock won't stop, will it? I mean, won't start.
No, it won't.
It's going to be a long 1:05.
Well, that is the 5th personal foul on junior Eric Dawkins, who leaves the ball game with 4 points, a couple of big free throws a moment ago. He'll be back next year. Here's Dawkins, the assist leader on the Cinnaminson club. Now into the ball game for the Pirates, Larry McGann replacing Dawkins, and Eddie Lukenda will go to the free throw line for 1-and-1.
That will change their backcourt alignment. Caparola will now become the point man where Dawkins was, and he will have to get the ball over for them.
Lukenda hits the first, cuts the lead to 6 points. My, what a ball game.
Bruce, this one is a long way from being out of the wood. This is going to be 1-and-1 down the wire.
Lukenda misses. Wilder has the ball in traffic. Foul on Pollock. So if you're at home, go get a beverage and come back, because this 58 seconds is going to take a while.
Make sure it's a soft drink.
Stevie Wilder now will go to the line. It's 1-and-1 time, unless they gave him 2 here.
I think it could be a
Pollock is gone with 5 personal fouls. Pollock finishes the game with 26 points, high scorer in the game, and he finishes a marvelous career at Cinnaminson.
I'll tell you, Bruce, it could be an omen there. Both Stratford and Pollock are out, so it kind of evens up. But I'll tell you, the way he was going in the second half, his height was the big factor in there, and they're going to really miss him. This last 58 seconds could be a down-the-wire job.
Well, there's a timeout on the floor with 58 ticks of the clock left. Cinnaminson 69, Linden 63. Linden at the free throw line, and plenty of time left. This one a long way from over.
A long, long way from over.
Let's listen in to Coach Wilbur Akins if we can.
Well, he's saying gamble, and that's what they have to do. They have to gamble on their quickness and try to get a steal. If they can hit these 2 foul shots and gamble on their quickness, they have the ball again. I'll tell you, they're right back in there.
Wilbur Akins.
Now, Cinnaminson does not have the big guy to lob the ball to against the press either.
And they've been having some trouble with the last trapping plays of Linden. So let's see what happens and watch the free throw parade.
They're going to bring into the ball game Mario Boziak, is it?
It's Bozicek.
Bozicek. Well, Mario's going to come in, and they're giving away. Now they don't, without the big fella in there, they don't look like a tremendously big team now.
Steve Wilder gets 2 shots. 5-point game.
5-point game with a big press and a long 58 seconds facing Cinnaminson right in the eye.
4-point game.
And here comes the press.
Here's the press. Cinnaminson pulls time. Just got that timeout in before the 4th second. After the 4th second, you cannot call the timeout. But Cinnaminson called one that they didn't want to give, but had to in that situation. But what does it do, Eddie? It gives Linden the ability again to set the press.
Yeah, Linden has now, I think Linden senses that the momentum is starting to swing back, and they can get back in this ball game without their big guy in there. It's a trade-off, but without their big guy in there, I think Cinnaminson's really hurting.
Each club has 1 timeout left. 58 seconds left. Linden trails by 4. Peter Crowd trying to keep his club together. Composure becomes the key to a club down the stretch, but without your big man, it sometimes becomes difficult, and without your floor leader, Dawkins, it becomes more difficult.
That's right. Capillaro has to get the ball up the court for them, and what they were doing before, which was giving Linden all kinds of trouble, was lobbing the ball up high to Pollock, and that way at least they were getting it over. I'll tell you, this is some ball game.
This is going to be some wild tournament weekend, too.
I think so. This is going to be a wild finish to this one, Bruce.
Souter will inbound. Pressure by Linden. The pass knocked away by Mack. Recovered by Souter.
Almost had it.
They've got only 10 seconds to advance the ball.
They're going to do it.
And they do, and a foul is called on Renardo Mack. A reach-in, his 2nd personal.
Souter decided to go for it. He put his head down and drove up the middle, but he's going to go to the line with 48 seconds, and 1-and-1s are imperative here.
We know it was close to the 10-second violation, don't we? It was 58. It's now 48.
Good point, Bruce. Good point.
Here's Souter at the line, 73% free throw shooter, but this is a totally different situation. 1-and-1. Got the first.
That's a very, very big one. That gives them that odd point I always talk about. That means that now, in reality, Linden needs 3 field goals if Cinnaminson falls back and does not foul. That's what they have to do.
Souter hits both, has 20 for the game.
and played quite a ball game.
6-point lead. Wilder back to the Tigers. Fires. No good. Wilder rebound. Foul call is going to be a blocking foul, and it's on Souter. And Wilder will be going to the line. Wilder has really taken over with Dennis Mays and Troy Stratford out of the ball game.
You know,